had a 22-year career, and 7 years was spent undercover doing narcotics.
Yeah.
And through that entry phase, I worked my way up into um, several task forces, including working with DEA, which is the feds, state task force. I got promoted to a sergeant, and they kept me in narcotics and special investigations, which was an elite unit.
Okay.
So I had a very good career undercover, but as all things come to the end, you just get to that point where you burn out.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I don't want to deal with drugs no more. I don't want to go on, I don't want to buy drugs no more. I don't want to be in that life anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after the 7 years, then I went back in the uniform.
Okay. What was the motivation behind you becoming a police officer in general? Just to
You know,
begin with.
I didn't really want to be a cop. It's not what I thought about. But I started my law enforcement career working in the prisons. And I did 3 years at Holmesburg Prison up in the Northeast, which is a maximum security prison. And, we were working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and that'll burn you out quicker than anything.
Yeah.
And it came to the realization that I would rather catch them than keep them,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because it was like 12 hours, man. I'm doing 1/3 of their time. If they're doing a
Yeah.
whole day, I'm there at least 8 hours. So I'm doing 1/3 of their bit.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And, the blocks on Holmesburg was at least 150, 200 yards long. And you could have a census, which is a total population on your block of 300 to 400 inmates with two correctional officers.
Damn.
And all you have is a whistle. That's all you got. So you're locked in there. You can't get off of that block unless somebody on the outside unlocks the lock.
Time out. What time out? All you have is a
So
whistle.
all you got is a whistle. There are no weapons inside the prisons. The weapons are in the towers or in the armory, okay? And they're only broken out if there's a riot.
Is it still like that,
It's
or
still
is
like
that
that. It's
really?
like that. There's no weapons inside the prison.
Damn. So it sounds like you're describing one of the most dangerous situations a human can put themselves into.
Holmesburg was bad because it was antiquated. It was no air conditioning. It was built in 1800s. It was
Yeah.
it was medieval.
Yeah.
And when you're on that block, you're looking down 100, 200 yards of just cells.
Yeah.
And all you see during the summertime is the heat coming off the block because it's that hot.
Damn.
95 and 9800 degrees, and these guys are walking around the blocks in their underwear, the boxer shorts,
Yeah.
because there's no air.
Yeah.
And on occasion, we would bring a water hose in and wet the block down, and they would lay in the water to try to cool off, but those cells were like steam boxes.
Shit.
And I'm like, I can't, I did it for 3 years and 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I can't do it anymore. So that's when I made the conscious decision. I'm going to take the tests and see if I can get out of here, either a deputy sheriff and work at City Hall or a police officer. And I passed the police test, and that's how it started.
Yeah. That experience alone sounds traumatizing. Just to see people in that environment having to go through that. Like, did that have any impact on you? Just witnessing people in these like subhuman conditions.
What I found out with the corrections is a lot of people did a lot of bad things, and it wasn't my job to judge them as to why they were there. It was just my job to supervise and make sure that they maintain their responsibilities as prisoners on the block. But there were a lot of people in there that really were innocent. They just couldn't make bail.
Mm.
And I started developing sympathy for those guys because I knew their story.
Yeah.
If he says, "Look, man, I really didn't do it, but I don't have the money to get out on bail. They gave me $100,000 bail. I don't even have 10,000 cash.
Yeah.
So they're locked in jail for 9, 10, 11 months till the trial comes up, and they beat it. Then they can go home. But meanwhile, now their life is messed up.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just so unjust. And I developed a sense of sorrow for these people because I know that they were innocent. Now the guys who weren't, you knew who they were.
Mm.
They get out, they come right back. Recidivism is really real.
Yeah.
and just the games that they play in there, man, was just enough to drive me out,
Yeah.
you know.
So did you have, I guess, what was the relationship like with the inmates there when it's just two of you and hundreds of them? Like, did you ever have any situations where shit went left?
There were times when, when you first started, you're new, and when my class graduated, they put us all on the 3 to 11 shift, so we were all rookies.
Yeah.
Everybody that was on 3 to 11 had seniority, had been there. They moved them to day work, and the shifts were permanent. So a whole class of rookies go into this 3 to 11. So we're going in there spitting polish. We know how we want to make it based on what we've been trained.
Mm-hmm.
And you had good supervisors, but these guards, I mean, not the guards, the inmates, they're going to try you.
Yeah.
They're going to really try you to find out if you got heart, you got punk, can we get over on you, those little type of games. And
Yeah.
if you show a weakness, they're going to always come after you. So you got them stand up and show that, look, I can do this job.
Yeah.
I have no problem knocking you on your ass. I got no problem writing you up. I got no problem throwing you in the hole.
Yeah.
If something jumps off, it's a riot or something, and I get a club in my hand, I know how to diffuse that situation because you're trained for it.
Yeah.
So you have to establish yourself as you are a correctional officer. You're not there's somebody just there hiding behind the badge.
Yeah, I like how you described that. If I get a club in my hand, I know how to diffuse the situation. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too, right? Start going up top.
There you go, man. There you go.
That's hilarious. So I assume that you're very good at compartmentalizing because, like when I see you now, you present as a very balanced, even person, like stable in your personal life, but you've seen a lot of shit.
I've been through a lot personally. I've been through a lot professionally. Being able to go from correctional officer to police officer is a million miles apart because your mentality changes based on one job versus the other. Being a police officer, now it's like you are out there basically by yourself in a patrol car, and now you're out there responding to the public, and you don't know who's who or what's what or what anyone has.
Yeah.
I could get a call for a hospital case and find a guy's in there beating the hell out of his wife. You know what I mean? So now I have to intervene, whether I have backup or not. I have to intervene.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to escalate, which was one of the first things they train you is you don't overreact in situations. You meet your opposition, whatever amount of force or rejection that you meet. If it escalates, then you have to escalate.
Yeah.
You can't come up here when the situation requires you to be here. This is why you'll see a lot of cops now shooting innocent and unarmed people. They didn't go in with the right mindset.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys now take the job, not because they want to be cops, just based on the benefits and the job.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to handle certain situations.
Yeah.
And when these situations come up, they overreact because the first thing they want to do is draw down on you and start shooting when it doesn't require that.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the interactions that I see where they go bad. It's like I don't know if it's the power dynamic or what it is, but the person that they'll be engaging will be here, and the police officer will take it here.
Yeah.
And once you get here, bringing it back down is obviously going to be a challenge.
It is, and that's why I said, you meet the escalation with whatever point it's at. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to come in a little bit higher than the normal just to get control of a situation. But once you get control of it, now it's your job to bring it back down where you can have communication. Because I've said 75% of the incidents the police getting, you can talk your way out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, man, just let's calm down. Okay, I'm not here to lock you up. I just need to find out what happened between you or this person or however you want to spin it, but you got to get that communication going.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, a lot of cops don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And they've come in automatically. They got this, what we call tombstone courage, meaning you're only be acting tough because you got that gun and badge on.
Yeah.
Before you got that gun and badge on, would you go into North Philly? Come on, really, let's be real.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So it's like if you can talk to people, that's half the job of being a cop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you just all you got to do is just talk. Once you get their attention and listen, you can probably de-escalate most things.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I think it's a personality thing. For some reason, like you seem uniquely suited to be to do what you did and at all levels, from police to undercover
Hmm.
to actor. Like you just have that personality.
And you're catching me at a good time.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I was young, I was aggressive. I was an aggressive cop,
Okay.
meaning, you know, I don't have a problem locking you up if you did something wrong because the the the, the point of being a successful cop is to be able to do your job. And if you do your job and you make arrests, good arrests, the police department is going to acknowledge you with accommodations and awards.
Yeah.
The Fraternal Order of Peace will acknowledge you as a good officer. And that's what you want to be known as your peers. Well, he's a good officer. He's not afraid to do his job.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you want the citations, you want the stuff that's going to help you with your promotions and things like that. It's the way you're veered. You don't want anyone looking at you like, there was a call came out, you're a man with a gun, but this dude didn't even show up. You don't
Yeah.
want that reputation.
Yeah.
Will you back me up? You know what I mean? He's
Hmm.
not going to back you up. So now you got a record as this guy's. He's scared.
Yeah.
He's just here. He's not. You can't count on him. He's not dependable.
Yeah.
You don't
Just a
want that.
warm body.
Yeah. So you just don't want that kind of reputation.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that you're honest about it, just saying that I'm just catching you at the good time because
Yeah,
you're
I'm
right. I
mellow
didn't really
now.
think about that. Yeah, you seem
I'm mellow
super,
now because
chilled and
once upon a
smooth.
time I was aggressive and I didn't always have the mentality. Well, we're gonna talk things out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
gonna de-escalate whatever we got to de-escalate. And if you want to take it higher, I'll meet the challenge.
yeah, yeah,
Now, where I'm at now, there is no more de-escalation. You know what I mean? I don't. There's no more. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm not. I'm not getting into no confrontation.
yeah,
But if I'm out with my family, if I'm out with my woman, my children, and there's a situation, okay, let's not make it. Let's just whatever you need to do, you do. But just remember, I'm hot. I'm armed and I'm hot,
yeah,
and I don't have a problem.
yeah,
So you make it light on yourself.
yeah,
That's the mentality. But I don't look for trouble.
yeah, yeah.
If I see something on the street, I'll dial 911. I'm not going to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a cop, I'm off duty. I see something, or I'm getting involved.
Yeah,
I'm getting involved in it because I'm aggressive and that's my job.
yeah.
You
Did you
know,
feel like it was your duty? Did you feel obligated, or you just felt like because you could, you would?
I felt obligated because if I seen something happen to somebody in the public, and I think during the course of my career I had 2 off-duty arrests, both for robberies, and I seen it, and it was just like instinctively I responded,
Mm-hmm.
and I intervened and I locked the person up who was robbing someone that was older.
Yeah,
And that was, when I thought about it, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that I was going to do that. I just seen it, put the car in park, and just jumped out and did what I had to do.
yeah,
But I might have been on my way to Wawa, to the supermarket, and it was just second nature to just intervene.
yeah. That's interesting because that situation actually sounds more dangerous than you being in uniform because the person that you're trying to subdue doesn't know that you're a cop, right?
Well, you have to identify yourself. If you're going to take a police action, you always identify yourself.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, is he just supposed to believe you? You know what I
Well,
mean?
well, if I jump out my car and I see you robbing somebody, I'm stepping out, police, and my gun's in my hands. Or you believe it or don't, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I feel like because he doesn't know and may not believe it, it seems like it would make it more dangerous because he's looking at you like, oh, this is just some dude identifying himself as cop, blam, blam. You know what I mean?
But I never thought of that.
Yeah,
It never went south,
yeah,
but it always worked out. Like I said, with the 2 off-duty arrests for robbery, I ended up getting citations and accommodations for it.
okay.
Which is it's good on your resume.
Yeah, yeah,
When time comes for you to try to get to a specialized unit, they look at your activity. Well, what have you done since you've been on the job? Do
yeah,
you write tickets or do you arrest people? You know what I mean? Do you go to court? Do you testify? All that stuff comes into how a captain or above is going to view you in terms of bringing you into their specialized unit,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
And
you were out
that's,
there putting the work in.
yeah, that exactly. And that's how I ended up getting into narcotics, which was undercover. Now,
Okay.
did I ever want to do it? No, but I was just ready to get out of uniform.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, here's my opportunity, but this is a time when crack was just not popping off. So whenever you're ready to go down that road, we'll go down there and we'll talk about the undercover life.
Yeah.